session at 1:33 p.m. And before we get into the timed item, I'm going to go to the Building and Planning Director's report first. If there's any comments from the board for the Building and Planning Director's report. Any questions? Mr. Lynch is here to answer any questions we might have. Not hearing any questions, seeing any raised pens. I'll thank Mr. Lynch. I do have a public speaker request in regards to the Planning Director's report. Mr. Christone.
Could you pass that out? I'm Chris Stone, and I'm here on behalf of Ukiah Land, proponent of the subdivision, which is part of the director's report today. The planning director submitted a timeline for our processing, which and we find that the processing by the planning department is absolutely inconsistent with the resolution passed by this board back in November of 2006, requesting or requiring as an incentive to the project that we be given expedited processing in a time frame which by resolution should have got us to the Planning Commission by August, September of 2007. It's now, June of 2008. And now in the timeline that the director is presented to you says that we may be before the Planning Commission in February, March of 2009. We feel this is not only not in conformance with the resolution passed by this board, it's not in conformance with state law requiring that an EIR be processed within a 1-year time period. The EIR now is running over 9 months late and will be over 18 months late over that 1-year time frame from the first date of our public scoping session. The requirements that you will hear from the planning department that there be an updated traffic report, traffic model are not a requirement. That is actually not the adjudications on this matter in law run counter to that. The agency, the lead agency, is supposed to utilize best current data, not hold off the processing of an environmental impact report for new data. And we feel that on every level, the processing of our project, which is now over 3.5 years old, has been does not meet the standards either set for it by this board or state standards. So I'm here to ask you to please request that the CEO's office begin a negotiation with us so that we can remedy this and get this moving ahead and get some houses built in this community. There hasn't been a production home, a moderate production home built in this community since the year 2000. We purposely and voluntarily came forward and said we will put in 36 moderate affordable homes. That is why we got the expedited processing, and nothing has been done in any way to do that expeditiously. And it has cost us over $1.5 million to hold that property for this extended period of time, and we're frankly quite upset.
Questions, Mr. Stone, from the board? Supervisor Pinchas.
Well, I don't have a question. I got a comment. Why is the planning staff recommending this delay? I mean, we're not that busy. It's not like we have subdivisions stacked up on top of each other. Why is this 18-month delay?
Mr. Stone's well aware that one of the key issues in this project, both from an environmental standpoint and from the neighborhood standpoint, is traffic. The best available information at the time Mr. Stone submitted the application was what was acknowledged to be an inaccurate City of Ukiah traffic study. At that time, the UVAP was also working on a traffic study. There's an AB 1600 study being done through MCOG. The traffic study that was going to develop, that traffic model, was determined to be the best source available, and Mr. Stone was aware of this. The unfortunate thing is for this project is that traffic model took way too long to become available. It only probably in the last month and a half has been available for the consultants to utilize to do the traffic work on his project. So while I acknowledge that there was the resolution assigning a priority to processing of this, in order to provide the best information for the decision makers, we felt that it was important to get that best traffic information available. It's acknowledged in the resolution that the timeframes were not binding, they were a goal in essence, and to best respond to the applicant, to respond to the community, and to get the best document that came out, we opted to wait for that traffic study. The concern is if we went ahead and did the traffic study based on an alternative study, that at the time that project came to hearing, there could have been competing traffic information, and that would have turned that project sideways. And so we thought it was best to get one traffic study that could be utilized for all the projects in the valley.
May I respond, Supervisor Pinches?
Chairman, yeah.
I'd like to hear from Supervisor Colfax first, and then I believe